Всем привет, друзья! Мы продолжаем проходить Final Fantasy XVI. И мы идем разговаривать с Арфократом. Вышло обновление на Final Fantasy. Я его по-быренькому скачал. Что оно делает, я точно не помню. Но вроде ничего важного, особого такого нету.
Guess. You're here about the skies.
Is there anything you don't know, Lawsman?
It doesn't take a court astrologer to augur the obvious. As for what has disturbed the heavens, that, I believe, is a question the Fallen might be better placed to answer than I. And on the sixth day did the gods tear the sun from the firmament, visiting darkness upon their prideful sons and daughters. But I dare say you remember your childhood lessons on the sins of Zemeckis only too well.
You think they're connected? That Ultima was one of the gods responsible?
Well, he has certainly exhibited powers that we mortals would associate with
the
divine.
There is nothing divine about him.
But he wouldn't be the first god of whom that could be said, now would he? Yet for all the fairy tales that tell of the sins, there is almost nothing in the way of actual historical accounts. Had I the Journal of Moss the Chronicler, I may have been able to tell you more, but alas, I fear all remaining copies have been lost to time.
Ничего, мы найдем.
You will forgive me, I hope?
Certainly not. Because there is nothing to forgive. Even without this journal, you've provided us ample wisdom. And we will always be grateful for it. Perhaps Otto will be more inclined to share his thoughts when he hears what the others had to say.
Так, идем разговаривать с Отто.
Clive, we have a problem.
Only one. That would be a first.
It would. Actually, there are three. We had as many owls arrive while you were at the shelves.
Пиздец.
Martha's got a Akashic at her gates and talk of monsters roaming the hills outside of
Вау, это новости, конечно.
And don't forget Dalimil. Lubor says the village was raided by bandits.
When it rains...
It fucking pours. The curse breakers are spread thin, taking stock of the damage in the Dominion. And even if I could get word to all of them, I doubt they'd get here in time to make any real difference. Which means there's only two people who can.
Jill and I.
Let them know we're on our way.
The messages from Martha, Isabel and Lubor weren't long. But what they lacked in detail, they more than made up for in urgency. Our friends need your help.
I'm ready when you are, Clive.
Так, но меня беспокоит в первую очередь Марта. Поэтому отправлюсь я к ней сначала. Вообще хотелось бы сначала поубивать еще тут разных чувачков с доски объявлений. Но мне не нравится, что весь мир с таким небом сейчас, и будет не очень красочно. Ладно, давайте как минимум сначала поможем Марте. Марта.
This man's gonna die if we don't get him to here.
Martha. It's good to see you.
And you, Clive. Jill?
Otto said you'd been attacked by Akashic. What exactly happened here?
Those skies are what happened. Not long after they fell dark, we had our first visit. There were hundreds of them. Tried to storm the hill. Only a handful made it up here, but that was more than enough. The rest are still down there now. And while we have a few willing fighters holding them back, they're sorely outnumbered.
What do you think, Clive?
That we join the fight.
I thought you'd never offer. Now, where I need you is the Fallen Gate. That's where the fighting is fiercest. Let the men know you've come to help. Something tells me they'll be pleased to see you.
We're on our way.
Do you think there were as many as Marthe says?
More.
If they ain't clawing at the gates or climbing up the cliffs...
You don't think they've abandoned us? Barricades we've set up around the town won't hold the Akashic back for long.
Ну, несмотря на такое небо, все равно выглядит все прикольно. Ну, небо, конечно, графика какая-то вообще так отвратительная. Ну, только вспомните Horizon Forbidden West. Там пиздец. После этого небеса не воспринимаются в других играх.
Clive, wounded.
We deal with the Akashic first.
А, точно, я же поменял способности. Немножко подзабыл. Да сука.
These men don't have the look of hired swords.
If you've come to rob this place,
You are mistaken, my Lord Rosfield. We're here by Madame Marthe's leave.
how do you know my name?
Forgive me, my lord. There wasn't time for introductions. We're with the Guardians of the Flame.
Wade's men? But how did you come to be here? Where is your commander?
Sir Wade left earlier with a scouting party to find out where the Akashic were coming from.
Did he? Take your wounded back to the inn. Marthe will see you're looked after. We'll join you anon.
And to think you took them for thieves. A fine reward for holding off the horde, that is.
When did Wade and his men arrive?
Not long after Rosalith fell, the Guardians asked me to shelter some of them that had lost their homes. They were making ready to leave just as the skies turned, and we agreed it was best we stuck together.
Marthe! Trouble! The scouting party's almost at the lift, but they got a pack of Akashic snapping at their heels! And they got wounded with them! They're not gonna make it!
Damn it all.
We'll worry about them, Marthe.
You look after everyone here. If any can still fight, send them to the lift.
I will. You two be safe now.
Looked like the Guardians were going as quick as they could, but without any injured.
The lift can only carry a few at a time. If those Akashic...
Mad dogs.
Squire, I need you to get those who can still walk up the lift to Martha's. But what about... I didn't ask, Oscar. Sir.
So Wade.
Lord Rossfield. If you aren't a sight for sore eyes.
Martha seemed to think you might need some help. And by the looks of it...
We thought we could sneak by them. But we didn't know there would be so many. How could we have?
Behind you!
Ёб твою мать. Ну, все те же самые противники сейчас будут просто апнутые.
We can certainly try. Are you with us, Sir Wade?
Always.
Then let's do our duty.
Черепаха будет драться, не? Классно, блядь, я нажал на ворот. Ну допейте его. Или там должен был быть мой ласт-хит в любом случае. Не знаю.
Is anyone hurt?
I don't think so.
And yet again, you've pulled me from the flames. It's just a pity I keep walking into them.
You've never been one to shy away from danger, Sir Wade. Like any shield worthy of the name.
I see you're all in one piece.
Martha!
Is something wrong?
The lookout saw smoke coming from down Eastpool way. Too thick to be a hearth.
A second horde.
Feel like finishing the job.
Always.
Jill and I will make for Eastpool. You'll need to move the injured without us.
Don't you worry about them.
The moment my men are safe, I'll follow. Good luck.
Ну, сразу отправляемся в... А, я думал прям в Eastpool. Ладно.
lad's gonna die if we don't get him.
The Akashic attacked us out of the blue.
Fiends try to climb the walls here.
They're headed for the rest.
We have to slow them down. Martha and the others won't be ready.
Да стоять, ёбаный дракончик! Ура! Блин.
Something's coming.
Ой, твою мать. Конечно, еще этого одноглазого не хватало.
Apologies, my lord. Did I miss anything?
Only the first round to wait. Shall we?
Ой, не те способности. Ой. Да я нажимал, блядь! Скотина, а?
Do you see any more?
No. I think that was the last of them.
But it won't be long before the next lot arrive.
Then we make for Martha's while we can.
Еще делать будем. Мы ж не можем тут вечность находиться и оборонять деревню.
What did you find out there?
The same as Sir Wade. Scores of Akashic.
Well, wherever they came from, they're gone now. Our lookouts say the lowlands are clear. Hopefully we'll have enough time to lick our wounds.
How many of your men were injured?
A damn sight less than if you hadn't turned up. Thank you.
It was a hard-fought victory. But as long as the skies remain dark, I fear the Akashic's numbers are only going to rise. It's not a matter of if the Horde will be back, but when. And whether that's sooner or later, we'll need to be ready. The inn here affords a good view of the land, and is easily defendable. I'd like to make this one of our outposts.
What do you say, Martha? You'd have more men to guard the rest.
Well, when you put it like that, if Of course they can stay.
Платок стражей. Ясно.
My lord, there's someone I'd like you to meet.
Бля.
Oscar, over here.
Твой парень?
It is an honor to make your acquaintance, Lord Rossfield. I am Oscar. Oscar of House Murdoch.
Murdoch? I wasn't aware the Lord Commander had children.
Oh, he didn't. But his brother, my father, did. I am Sir Rodney's nephew. Well, go on then. It's not for me to ask him. Yes, so wait. If it please you, my Lord Marquis, might you take me as your squire? I would learn the duties of a shield from the finest.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Oscar, but I am a shield no longer. Nor was I ever the finest. And spending time in the company of an outlaw hardly seems a fitting education for one aspiring to take his oaths.
My Aunt Hannah once told me that a man is not defined by his title, but what he does in its name. You have accomplished much since taking on the mantle of Cid, winning no little honor in so doing. And I would sooner serve under an honorable outlaw than an unworthy sheep. Not that Sir Wade and the other guardians are... I mean to say that, they're... It's all right. We know what you mean. There is only so much the boy can learn from me, my lord.
But a squire?
Would that really be so bad? You were a squire once. And I'm certain Sir Rodney would approve.
Know that I'll show you as much leniency as your uncle showed me.
I would not have it any other way. I will not let you down, Lord Rossfield. You or my uncle.
We shall be staying here for the time being, and not just for the ale. I'll have one of my men escort Oscar to Benamir once he's said his farewells.
Так, у меня там немало накапало очков способностей. Настроен с богому... А, точно! Стойте, еще будет 2 силы. Раз кружочек, 2 кружочек. Я думал, всего будет 6. Получается, будет 7. Ну, Варнава 6. А, ну и Джилл 7. Ее сила будет. Ясно. Так, что ты умеешь? Не, это мне не очень нравится. Блин, ну пока мне не хочется менять никак свою тактику. Только недавно настроил так, как хотел. Вот. Я бы улучшил имеющиеся способности уже. Тут много надо. Кстати, можно было бы изучить это и заменить вот это. Но я пока точно не уверен. Ого. Нормально сейчас будет. Так.
So Sid rides to the rescue once more. We're in your debt.
Охота подраться. Порт Изольда. Тихие песни Розарии. Ой, тихие пески. Около этого порта, помните, мы в прошлой серии читали насчет объявлений на доске объявлений. Типа там можно найти 3 челов. Странно, карты нет никакой больше. А, вот. Ну да, тут пройти чуть вперед, и мы наткнемся на них. Почему все же 2 атаки? Странно. Может, не показалось, но должно быть больше атак. Может, нужно зажимать кнопку? Ну, вон они стоят. Бахну зелье немного. Жуткие братья. Ранг А. Ну, Эй. Кому как угодно. Они друг друга усиливают. Пиздец. Да, блядь! Ебучие тайминги, нахуй.
more vengeance. No more war.
Нормально так. Раскидали. Так, порт Изольда. До свидания. Вамаре, Дальмекия. Походу еще не открыл ту местность. Давайте Далемилын отправимся. Посмотрим. Странно. Ну, в Амаре, блядь, где это вообще? Но я не мог перепутать в Амаре с Вилкруа. Странно. Не знаю, где это.
Sid, your new companion appears much more formidable than your uncle. Should I be worried? You haven't been introduced.
Jill, Clive has told me much about you.
All lies, I'm sure.
Your Stolas said that Dalamil has a bandit problem.
Indeed. Although you're a little late. They left with our food and guild days ago. Any idea where they went? The desert's a big place. Your guess is as good as mine. But the fact is, I have more immediate concerns.
What did you say to me? What did you say?
As if by magic. Let's just say we've yet to reach a consensus about how to solve Dalamil's little problem. And at this rate, it won't be the actions of the bandits which prove to be our undoing. It will be our own. I've tried reasoning with the dissenting parties, but even the Desert Hare has limits.
Perhaps we could talk to them.
What makes you think they'll listen to us?
What makes you think they won't?
She makes a fair point, Sid. And you won't have wasted much of your precious time if you fail. They're just across the courtyard.
Suppose we just follow the shouting.
They're both as stubborn as the lover's pot, and every bit as ill.
You wouldn't talk like that if it had been your men whose throats were slit. Blood for blood, it's the only way. We hire mercenaries and have them mount the bandits' heads on our walls as a lesson to the rest.
And what happens when those mercenaries are slaughtered like your men? Are you going to hire more? We're better off using that coin to buy food and supplies. If we hire mercenaries, the only thing we're buying is the bandit's ire. And you cannot fill empty bellies with that. Do you hear me?
But what happens when they come back? Maybe it'll be your throat that's slit.
That's enough. Both of you. Any more of this and I'll throw you out myself. Come back when you're ready to talk like adults.
Victor. What's he doing here?
Sid and Lady Jill. What brings you here?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Costness is in chaos, and the markets have all but ceased to operate. The Briar's Kiss here in Dalamil is the only place I can reliably obtain supplies. I was here to do just that when Master Lubor told me of his troubles. He thought I might be able to talk some sense into these fools. But if you're here, I suppose his patience must be waning.
Who are those people?
Those were the thorns in Lubor's side. And the reason this place might be headed the same way as Costness. It's these accursed skies. The darkness is enough to drive a man to madness. Or an entire city, for that matter.
We're still working on the skies. But in the meantime, perhaps we can find a solution to Dalamil's problems.
I hope so. For all our sakes.
So, you see my predicament?
What I saw was a room full of people who were angry and afraid. And with good reason by the sound of it. But if left to smolder, that anger and fear could set the entire town alight.
My thoughts exactly. What to do? Both sides wish to protect their homes and livelihoods, if only they could agree on how. But as long as they are divided, we are vulnerable.
And if there's one thing bandits like, it's an easy target.
What would Sid the Outlaw suggest?
Well, if it were my namesake, he'd let them choose for themselves and be on hand to pick up the pieces when it all went wrong.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
A recipe for disaster is precisely what it is. But perhaps that realization would be enough to make them question the ingredients. While it's plain neither Conrad nor Natalie will countenance the other's proposal, it may still be possible to make them doubt their own. Before presenting them with a third option.
And that would be?
To pool our resources and save the city ourselves. Why fight each other?
When all that fear and anger can be directed at the bandits.
It appears we have a plan of action. Victor, pay Conrad a visit. See if you can't convince him of his folly. I'll speak with Natalie.
As you wish.
Your faces are not well known in this town. That may prove useful. Don't worry, Victor and I will do most of the talking. You need only play along.
Play along?
What he means to say is yes.
Я не знаю, что говорить, потому что я уже чисто устал разговаривать здесь.
Your own city guard.
Buy more supplies. We might as well scatter seeds near a rat's nest. They're the problem, and only steel will solve it.
Next thing you know, Natalie'd be offering the bandits bed and board.
Here she is. The Lady of the Spear herself. Conrad, may I introduce you to Jane, commander of the Red Wings, the oldest mercenary guild in the Free Cities.
A pleasure, my lady.
The pleasure is all mine.
As I told you, I summoned the commander here from Canberra to inquire about a contract.
Victor says you told him no. That there aren't any men left to hire. Is that true?
True as the crystals cracked. Nobles came and claimed every last one worth his salt. And not just from us Red Wings. You know of the 7 high houses? There must be 2 swords assigned each one. Granted, we have a few boys left. If it's boys you're looking for.
Well, Conrad, are you saying that Dalamil's finest cannot defend this town better than a gaggle of unblooded striplings? That a band of beardless youths could better avenge the deaths of your brave men than you yourselves?
Absolutely not. We'll show those bastards who they're dealing with.
Побежал.
That actually worked.
Conrad's not what you called the brightest candle in the crypt. And there's a reason why I had you do the talking and not Sid. Well played, my lady.
A shop.
If I had my pickaxe, I would...
I mean, it may still be possible to buy something, and we may yet be allowed to keep it.
Yes, but...
All this after the last sellswords we paid for proved themselves such reliable...
Never poke a hornet's nest, they say. Conrad's going to get us all killed. I agree with Natalie. We must...
Ah, here he is now. Natalie, allow me to introduce Lord Underhill of Randalar's prestigious League of Merchants.
Lord Underhill. At your service.
Underhill.
I was just telling the good lady of our conversation, my lord, and how you were lamenting the state of the capital's stores.
Lubor says that not only are the granaries almost empty, but that war and the blight mean this season's harvest won't be enough to fill them for winter.
Indeed, certainly that is the case. The nobles in the capital are buying up the city's stocks of barley and wine, driving the prices higher than most commoners can afford. It is only a matter of time before the peasants revolt.
It is worse than I thought. If what Lord Underhill says is true, I fear we have little hope of supplementing our stores, meager though they regrettably are. And while I applaud your endeavors to dissuade our more bellicose citizens from seeking vengeance, I sense Conrad is not wrong in his assessment of the bandits' likely return. Which means that now, more than ever, we will need to secure what little we still have. Food, weapons, herbs, everything. If our humble town is to endure not only this hardship, but those that are certain to follow, we must stand united.
All right. If it will help to protect my home, I'll do it. But you needn't have gone through this charade.
Thank you, Clive. Your performance was nothing if not workmanlike.
She saw right through it.
I didn't say it was good, merely that it produced the desired effect. Now, my scouts should be returning shortly. Meet me back at the Briar's Kiss, and we shall see what we face.
I'm not convinced our roles in this ruse were entirely necessary.
I have no choice.
I don't know. Conrad seemed quite taken with you.
Блин, эта красочность пропала с этим, блядь, небом несчастным. Поскорее бы его убрать.
I'm ruined.
Так, ладно, давайте продолжим в следующей серии. На этом я буду заканчивать. Всем спасибо за просмотр. Ставьте лайки, подписывайтесь. А главное, комментируйте, чтобы я мог с вами общаться. До скорых встреч.